Why, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Championship Sunday in the books. The season has come to a close. I am a little sad, but if I have certainly enjoyed it this season, and if you've enjoyed it as much as I have, go ahead and smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, and get the notification bell on. We got plenty more coming for you over the summer. Newcastle went to Stamford Bridge for the final game of the season. I had this one on for a bit. Thought it's a couple of early goals. Thought it was an interesting match. Surprised Newcastle didn't pull it out, honestly.
Same here.
Same.
I fully expected us to get rain.
I really did. I thought this game was going to get out of hand quicker than it should have, I would say. But, you know, if they stood on their head, Azpilicueta got his banner, Frank got his coat of arms, like Mason Mount kind of said goodbye. It was a little bit of a bittersweet end to the season, though.
Mm-hmm.
It sums up the season. To tie to Newcastle on the last day sums up the season.
I mean, I
And
guess.
our goal was an own goal.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
it sums up the season.
Classic Chelsea, classic Sterling goal at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because when he scored that goal was at the literal exact same time that Saka scored that nasty goal. And so I was like watching both of them, and remember in the chat I went Sterling and Saka, and then I saw the replay of the Sterling goal and I was like, oh. I'm not sure he's even going to get credit for that.
No. And he didn't.
No.
And he didn't.
I mean, that's just what y'all's goals have looked like.
It sums up the season. 100%.
Last month or so.
Yep.
I'm surprised Conor Gallagher didn't hit the shot the way, because that's all he scores. Oh, man. What I'm hearing, though, mostly from Chelsea fans is just relief.
Thank God it's over.
Yeah, it's over, and we can
new beginnings.
Well, and I think it's a big deal because I would you it's very unlikely you'll hear me ever call a Chelsea fan or Chelsea History FC, but they were kind of functioning like we're Chelsea. We're supposed to be good. And the reality check came that you have to come out and play. Nobody's going to respect you just because you're Chelsea.
Well, we lost our culture, man. I told you at the beginning of all this.
Yeah, man. And so I think they'll be fine going forward. If I'm not mistaken, I think Pochettino was announced.
He was announced
today.
Made a statement and was announced today.
Yeah, and so I think you know, like I know Patrick and X both really were on, you know, the what can you do with the academy guys. I think he's gonna sort that, and you're gonna see academy guys introduced in ways that help them grow, instead of just sticking them out there and saying, hey man, we can't score, can you do something for us? Because putting that much pressure on a young guy, unless his name is Wayne Rooney or Cristiano Ronaldo, there's no reason to do that. And so I think you wean them in there, and you buy well, but you sell well too, because man, that fire sale. The 2-for-1s are coming. You want 50% off? We got one for you. You're looking.
And we already got somebody that we may be signing come Friday.
Yeah. Are you looking for a winner?
It's Ugarte. We need him. He's in a position of need. I will say that.
Y'all got to get people out first, man. I've already half expected, even today, Pochettino announced, and then like 5 people gone.
5 people gone. Yeah. Well, I think that's already been kind of under the works. Like we know, we have a handful of players that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt are gone. They are gone. We have a handful of players that he might want to keep that he himself has said, I'm going to sit down with. The club has plans for him to sit down with some of these players who are up for questionable grabs on contracts. Kai and Mount being 2 huge names that I think both are going to get sat down by him and say, you know, what the roles are going to be moving forward, and if contracts can be extended, then so be it.
What's all this Mount to United stuff I'm hearing?
It's hype, man. They don't have enough money to afford Mount. We're not selling Mount less than 80, 90 mil.
Definitely not.
Not going to happen. Like,
no, I agree.
Not within country, at least.
It baffles me talking about, you know, the summing up of the season and Mount, like, you know, Poch coming in and Mount and all these players coming under fire. Like Mount didn't play a majority of the season. When he did play, he played hurt. Like he is going to have surgery in the offseason. He is going to be ready by next season.
He hasn't had surgery yet? They haven't had it yet?
I thought he had surgery.
I was
Or
gonna
he
say,
had surgery. He's in
He had
recovery
surgery.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's about to
sorry.
say.
So he's in recovery now. So, in that being said, yeah, he's young, but, at least he held off to the end of the season to get everything done. When he did play, he played hurt. He didn't play because he was hurt, and his coaching staff knew that. The medical staff knew that. The fans seemed to crucify him for it and want him gone, which baffles me. Like,
Weird.
he played. It is weird. He's from the
It's
academy.
not-
He's
it's not
he's
that,
Chelsea
though.
born and bred.
It's because he's been offered a contract for almost 18 months now, and he won't
I
sign.
would not accept it either. There is no excuse for Raheem Sterling to make more than Mason Mount. Period.
I'm gonna disagree with that a little bit. I agree with you that that Mount should get paid more, but Sterling, I mean, the way these contracts work, they're on resume. I mean, if you look at Sterling's resume, I mean, he deserves the money he gets paid. I mean, based on what he's accomplished. That now does he have the same trajectory as Mount? No, Mount obviously has a much higher ceiling than higher. I don't want to say ceiling because that feels wrong. Higher sort of
Potential.
Yeah.
But you're paying Sterling, who was a 4-time champion when he came in, a national team starter. He had the second most goals in Manchester City history. If you gave him any less, you have to pay him for that. You're paying. It's just the same reason like why Ronaldo gets paid what he gets paid, but he's not Ronaldo anymore. Messi gets paid, he gets paid. And so Mount is going to get his money because there's no question he's talented. He's going to be that guy. But, I understand as a young guy, you say, hey, well, why don't you pay me? But there's only a few young guys who can do that. Like Phil Foden was better than Raheem Sterling. And there was no way he could ever say, you pay me more than him. There's no way he could say that, even though he knows. And he was in the same team producing more.
All right, here's your trajectory. There's no reason for Reece James to be making more than Mason Mount.
I won't.
I don't know about that.
I disagree with that completely.
They have the same. No, they have the same trophy case. Came from the same academy. One's been hurt way more than the other.
But I think it's position at that point.
It's position at that point for sure.
Our center mid is this season proves anything. Our center mid creation role is way more lacking.
You don't have one.
Because exactly that's what Mount was under the Tuchel system.
No, I'm saying your systems. Graham Potter on for the rest of this season. Tuchel played with the creator, but no one else since Tuchel has played a 10. Right. There's been a gap. I've been saying it since day one of this podcast. Y'all know, you'll remember. Y'all don't play a 10. There's always a gap. There's always a gap in that space.
Right. Whereas what Reece plays, Reece could how much you could get 100 easy for Reece right now?
Oh yeah,
from anybody. I mean, he plays
easily. Reece James would
find anybody to play there,
and I would sell him.
He'd be the perfect inverted right back, like what the league has been doing. If Chelsea decided to do that, Reece James would be the perfect because he's got the speed to get back when you lose the ball, but he's also got ball playing abilities. But he strikes me as somebody who and I may be wrong, but I feel like he doesn't work and practice really hard. Right. He thinks he's Hazard. So he's not
Eden Hazard. That's the mentality Reece James has, and the air about him is Eden Hazard, 100%. I'm not going to work. I am incredibly talented, and I will ride it. I'll make my paycheck, and I'm good to go.
He could be integral to your team.
He should have the band. He should, but he's not. I don't think he's going to. I truly think we should sell Reece James right now.
I disagree completely.
I would rather buy the boy from PSG and sell Reece James.
I don't think his injury record is against him.
That's what I'm worried about, dude. He already has a rap sheet as long as Conte.
Yeah, his injury record. James has been injured more than he hasn't in the last 2 years.
Yeah, but look at how everybody's been injured the last 2 years. It's been like walking wounded. So I would rather keep Reece James' talent and see if this is a blip, and maybe we get the proper physio, dietitian, whatever you want to call it, into the club.
We got to get a new one of those too. Yeah.
Get that into the club and see if that changes. And the thing is you still can sell high on him 2 years down the road.
Well, all I know is if Chelsea sells him, I know one club in Manchester that'll buy him right away. They'll buy him right away.
Well, Real's already shown interest in him.
He'll go to Real Madrid.
But yeah, I agree with that though. Lewis Walker is getting up there.
He's on. I mean, that's literally the like for like replacement.
Yep, 100%.
Real Madrid's in for everybody. Like the Real Madrid rumors is like Real Madrid's in for everybody. Now they're going to buy Harry Kane apparently.
They had $1 billion. They accumulated $1 billion bid for Mbappe, and he screwed them over. So they got a bunch of money to spend everywhere. So, yeah,
got $1 billion ready.
They have 13 fighter jets worth of bank. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that did you see that Benzema got offered like 200 million or something like that?
200 million a year, 2-year contract to go play in Saudi. I'd go too. I'd pull an Oscar.
I would pull 35, 36.
I would pull an Oscar so fast and end up in China or Saudi. You hand me a contract like that, I'm gone.
Yo, the Saudis are building the team, and don't be surprised when we start hearing noise about Al Hilal should be in the Champions League.
There's already talk of them joining UEFA.
That Messi, that offered Messi, is that right?
No, so actually, yes, it is. Al Nassr is where Ronaldo is.
Yeah, Al Hilal is the
one that won. Right.
Yep, they're the rival. Yeah.
And like build up the squad as well because they got like some names already of like older players, so.
They're doing what the MLS was doing before, but the MLS is hampered by salary caps. Because if the MLS could have done it, MLS would have bought all those guys already. If they didn't have the American sports rules on them, Messi would have been here already. Ronaldo, they would have paid them whatever they wanted to because they know they're going to make the money on image rights. They'll make all that money back.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So Benzema, according to this, he earns $13 million at Madrid.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. What?
That's it. Oh my God!
Per year, that's what it looks like. I'm looking a little bit further into it.
That's it.
How do you turn down money like that? I mean, I get it. You've already got obscene money. I get it. They already have money, but
that's generational.
That's a whole nother echelon.
Never be broke.
Right?
You can buy a yacht for that much.
You could.
My man Ronaldo can buy a Ferrari Enzo every Friday right now.
Grandchildren's grandchildren could buy a yacht.
Right.
4 generations from
now for 100 years down the line.
Yeah.
All you have to do is put that into the interest alone on a regular savings account on that will take care of your.
Next thing we hear, Benzema's got an apartment in space.
Yeah. Right.
Well, but yeah, for Chelsea, man, it's the biggest question is the investment. How do they invest that money? Now, I would say this: while I hear you, Patrick, on disagreeing on selling James, if I'm following X, and I think X has a point, if you sell him because this is you watch for the injury record and they make the money. Poch was in charge when Bale got sold at Spurs, and Poch did pretty well with that money. And so if you're gonna give this guy, you already have money here, and so to deal with your potential FFP issues, you make that sale so it covers up some of that, and then you go from there. And
that's why I was saying
that clears the books.
Yeah. Well, but what I'm saying though is if he's injured now, give him a season under Poch. See if he stays healthy, and then if you want to sell him, then you're going to be able to sell high. Right now, you're going to kind of take. I mean, you're not going to take a loss because he's from the academy, but you're gonna kind of sell low on him at this point. And
if he gets injured again, I'm saying the stocks people. I'm saying James is in a really peculiar, interesting moment in his career because if he ends up next season injured again, that's 3 for 3.
And then his stocks won't be so high.
Then we're not going to make 100. We're going to make 50. It'll be the Eden Hazard issue where Madrid made $100 million bid on him, got him there. He got injured 3 weeks later because obviously it was bound to happen because he got beat up year after year after year after year in the Prem.
Been eating burgers ever since.
And then eating burgers ever since. And then that James is just on this trajectory because he can't stay healthy because of the workload we've put on him, because of the position he
that's
plays.
That's why we brought in Gusto, or bringing in Gusto, so that we can take some of that workload off him. He's still 23 years old.
You can send him to Manchester.
It's the same hammy.
Will take care of him.
It's the same hammy since he's been 20.
Yeah,
it's the same leg. Like it's.
Yeah.
I would sell. Like, I love Reece James. Don't get me wrong.
Because we got somebody to play in front of him already. He don't have to play all the games.
No. Well, the last thing I did want to mention about Chelsea, or at least ask you guys about, has Lewis Hall really upped his stocks in the last couple of games
Definitely
into the season? And are we thinking he'll be a part of Poch's setup? He's looking good.
Loan.
He's looking good.
It sounds like he's going to be loaned. Honestly, it does.
Loaned.
There's already been talk of him being loaned.
Fair enough. I guess you guys just do have 900 players to deal with.
Yeah,
so.
we've got.
Whatever happened to Cucurella? Like, he just disappeared, just injured.
He's gone, injured, but I want him gone.
How much did y'all pay for him? Are y'all going to be able to
55, 60?
Yet.
Y'all going to take a loss on Cucurella.
You know, and the funny thing is, this is where you should totally sell the city because, hey, we bailed you. You bailed us out of that bad signing because we were going to sign him. But now you can just send James over and then everything will be square.
Look, man, if y'all want to give us $100 million, I would convert the James money into Harry Kane money so fast. James for Harry Kane, done.
You would take a 30-year-old over a 23-year-old.
I would take 30 goals. I would take 30 goals.
Harry Kane.
I would take 30 goals a season.
I would take Harry Kane at 30.
I would take 30 goals a season at Tottenham. 30 goals at that Spurs team. I would take that over Reece James every day of the week.
If Harry Kane could have scored,
well, his season this year, yes, most definitely. That's been incredible.
And the 6 seasons before it.
Somebody said it on Twitter, his 30 goals with that Tottenham team.
If Kane was in this year's Chelsea team scoring the same goals, you have no issues this year.
We'd be in top 4. We'd be in top 4 because we didn't leak goals. Leaking goals wasn't our big issue.
Well, I don't know about top 4.
I'm talking about like they would make Europe. They would be in Europe this year.
You would be in Europe, yes.
Because you look at the Spurs is like there's Basura and then there's Spurs, right? And this is where they are, right? And Kane still scored 30 goals in this season. And we didn't even I don't know if this is the sort of window of people asking, would Harry Kane, would you take Harry Kane's 30 goals in Spurs or Haaland's 36? Are we serious right now?
That's being asked.
I know, but are we serious?
Yes, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Harry Kane's 30 at Tottenham.
That 30 at Tottenham is incredible. I mean, you look at the makeup of that team.
I'm gonna disagree with that for the simple reason Harry Kane has been in the Premier League for his whole career, and you got a guy who came in who said, "Hey, he don't fit," and then he didn't play whole games. Like literally, you stop playing him whole games.
He's got the best manager probably. He probably will be goated if he keeps on. Best manager. And he's got one of the best organized and well-orchestrated teams that the only thing they were missing last season was a 9.
But the thing about it was, if it was that easy, why did Gabriel Jesus not do it? If it was that easy.
Gabby did, though.
Gabriel Jesus scored how many goals for City? Come on now. Like, it's not that easy to do it there.
I don't think it's that easy. But again, you got to compare the teams.
You put Harry Kane on that City squad, he scored more than 36. That's what
I think Harry's.
No way. There's no way Kane would have scored more than Haaland this season at City. No one would have scored more than Haaland this season But I will say this: your results this season would not have changed.
None.
You would have won the league. You'd be in the final of both these tournaments. Kane would have gotten mad goals, and because of Kevin De Bruyne.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I would have scored mad goals. Maybe not 50, whatever, like Haaland, But I would have had double-digit goals in that City team.
Yeah.
You know, a mongoose could have scored double-digit up top for City.
Phil Foden missed most of the season and had 15.
Yeah. When you got somebody dropping them in like that for you.
He's just a magician, but we've gotten
He is.
way off course.
But yeah, I think.
Well,
now,
you know, that is sort of on topic, though, because Kevin De Bruyne was at Chelsea at one time.
Yeah.
No,
Nice, neat little bow.
Yeah.
It's just that it just sums up the fire and the we call it the dumpster fire that's going on at the club. We have new owners who've admitted they've made mistakes, admitted they didn't really know how this works, and it's going to take them time to catch up. Whereas Roman, I think before he even bought the club, meticulously studied what it was going to take to do this. And Boyle just seems like he saw an opportunity, had the money in the bank, and was like, yeah, I'll buy it and figure it out later.
Yeah.
And that's where I said the culture really wasn't brought in. Boyle didn't establish a culture coming in. Yeah, he fired Tuchel, which everyone hated. The fans, that's where he lost the locker room. His first action as the new owner lost him his entire organization because he cut their head off. He just made the wrong move way too early and trying to establish himself as the owner and the face of the club. And he's learning his mistakes. I think Poch put up to see him come out of the managerial pool that we had to pull from. He obviously said the right things. He wants to take control of the transfer window. He wants to say he signed to a 2 with an option of a 3rd. So he's been promised time, and he has he has a window that we didn't have a window last season. Tuchel didn't get a window. Chelsea hasn't had a transfer window in the summer for 3 years. Frank didn't get one. Tuchel didn't get one. Boyle didn't get one.
And you still managed to spend $600 million somehow.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Well, anyway,
yes, we did.
Definitely, Chelsea definitely looking for a big summer. Need a big summer. Pochettino's got a big job on his hands. Yep.